Hello, everyone. The Desert Cardinal here, and it's Sunday, um, March the 20th at 5 o'clock Mountain Time. It's been a while since I posted a video, and I keep saying this at the beginning, so I'll make it short. My intention is to post more videos more often. It's just that the schedule with my kids and my family, I like to have, some downtime, some alone time in order to prepare for the videos. And so that's been few and far between lately. And this afternoon I had some downtime, so I did some studying. And because I like to be able to, at least have a good idea of what it is that I'm talking about, and what it is that I'm doing. And sorry, my birds, of course, they're like children. As soon as you get on the phone and start talking, they start doing their own thing. And I think they're calming down now, so that's good. What I want to talk about is, it seems like, I've been talking to a lot of people lately, and not in person, but on Facebook and through the YouTube stuff that I've been doing, and it seems like, all of us, and whether it's a mental illness or not, we struggle with shame, and I talked earlier in a video. I think I did maybe 2 videos on shame, and I got a lot of feedback on those. So I want to backtrack a little bit and talk some more about shame, and really do some research for you guys and study some more. And I do want to say that, and I don't mean this in a boasting way, or I'm better than you or whatever. It's just a fact that, I have a master's degree in special education with an emphasis in behavior management. And I spent many years teaching, and as a teaching assistant for children with mental illnesses. And I've been trained in like the Boys Town motivational method, and crisis prevention and intervention, which teaches you to how to dial a crisis down without having to use physical restraint. And so I'm not just blowing smoke out of my butt. Some of the things that the deal is this. Yeah, you know what? I got that degree up there hanging on the wall and all that crap. But the bottom line is, I'm just another beggar showing another beggar where the bread line is at. And I taught kids for many years with mental illness. Now, did I do it right? I don't think so, because now that I'm on the other side, the student, or the teachers become the student, I understand a whole lot more about what my kids were going through than I did when I was teaching them without the knowledge that I have now. And believe me, if I could go back and change some things about how I taught, I would. I totally understand so many things that I didn't understand before about why the kids were acting the way they were acting, and what was it that I could do to make it better. And but anyway, all of that to say is that I'm not an expert by any stretch, but I do have some experience, and I think that helps. And and this gets to shame right here. Right here at this point, I could say, yeah, well, and it's just a degree, and I don't really know anything. Well, that's bullshit. You know, I have a degree. I studied my butt off. I did what it took to get it. It helped me teach the kids that I was teaching. Yeah, I have some experience dealing with kids with mental illness in a professional setting. And some of the things that I taught those kids, I'm teaching myself now. Or have been teaching myself, because now the teacher has become a student. And unhealthy shame, toxic shame would be for me to just completely deny any of that ever happened, or to go to the other extreme of, well, you know what, I am the foremost expert in child psychology because I have quite a few years of teaching children with mental illnesses. No, ain't going down that road. I'd learn just as much as anybody. But I did go to a workshop one time as a teacher, and the subject of the workshop how'd you like my imitation of a psychiatrist? I thought that was pretty good. But I do have some material from that. It was a workshop. Went to it's like a behavior conference, believe it or not. And they have, like different people speaking and different sessions you could go to and stuff. And there was this one guy who taught a session on healthy shame versus toxic shame. And for the most part, with my videos that I've done for you guys, I've not used a script, and I've never used a script. I'm not ever going to use a script. But I do have some notes, and I'll be looking at those notes to help me keep the time short and sweet and to the point, so we can, start learning some of this together, and it be done in a timely fashion. So we're not going to get too much into it today because we're already starting to run short on time, but this will be a continuation for quite a while, I think. So, I think last time we talked about shame. I made the statement to you guys that shame, healthy shame says, I made a mistake. And unhealthy or toxic shame says, I am a mistake. And that's what it boils down to with shame. That there is a healthy shame. And shame is about us establishing boundaries and knowing what our limits are, and also being able to ask for help. That's healthy shame. They say what our healthy feeling of shame does is let us know that we are limited. It tells us to be human is to be limited. Actually, we humans are essentially limited. Not one of us has or can ever have unlimited power. The unlimited power that many modern gurus offer us is false hope. Their programs calling us to unlimited power have made them rich, not us. They touch our false selves and tap into our toxic shame. We humans are finite. We're limited. Limitation is in our essential nature. Grave problems result from refusing to accept our limits. Healthy shame is an emotion that signals us about our limits. Like all emotion, healthy shame is an energy in motion. Like all emotion, it moves to get our basic needs met. And later on, we'll go into some detail Um, I've heard it described as by a Catholic priest once that we're all programmed with emotional programs for happiness and safety and security and all of these things, and we have an instinct for these things, and when those needs aren't being met, um, uh, unhealthy shame results. And unhealthy shame is actually, the root of all addictions. And we'll get into that later too as well. But the thing I want to focus on is that, when you're living under a constant state of shame, it's really, really hard to accept yourself for who you are. And, I don't know, I remember growing up as a kid, my mom saying, "You're such a bad boy. You're such a bad boy. You shouldn't have done that. You're a bad boy." And what that does is in a child's mind, it connects what they do with who they are. So when you make a statement like that to a child, you say, "You're a bad boy." You're telling that boy that because he did such and such and so, that makes him a bad, broken human being. And that's not true. We aren't necessarily what we do. And I know my wife and I, in spite of my struggles with mental illness, we're very, very careful in the beginning with our kids to differentiate between, them making a mistake and being a mistake. And we always, whenever they did something wrong, we never said, "You're a bad boy." We said, "You know what you did, son, was not a good thing. And we love you, and we love you so much that because you did this thing that wasn't right, now we have to give you a consequence. And so your consequence is such and such and so and so." But we never tied his behavior into who he is. And that's a mistake a lot of us have made. That's a mistake that a lot of us have been on the receiving end of, "You're a bad boy, you're a bad girl. You shouldn't do that." And like I said, what that does is it breaks you. And our parents are supposed to be showing us boundaries and building us up and revealing, help us reveal who we are. And when we're in an environment where it's like, "You're a bad boy, you shouldn't do that," when we're in that kind of environment all the time, we can't discover who it is and who we are. And it just and who that person is just gets buried over hurt after hurt after hurt after hurt after hurt. So then when it does time to come healing, it's like peeling an onion. And you peel an onion and another layer comes off. And you peel the onion, another layer comes off. And you peel an onion, another layer comes off. And you keep thinking every time you go through a layer, you're thinking, "Okay, I'm finally there. I finally got it. Oh no, here we go again. Another layer comes off." And that's why, putting aside all the scientific gobbledygook and all that stuff, the thing that we need to always remember is that we are human beings. We're not human doings. We be. We are beings. We exist. We are. Not to get religious, but when Moses asked God, "Who should I tell him that sent me?" He said, God said, "I am that I am." And somebody asked Jesus who he was. He said, "Are you Jesus the Christ?" And then his response was, "I am he." And I believe that's an esoteric, maybe not esoteric would be the right word, but that's a definition of healthy shame, is knowing who I am. I am. And when you discover exactly who you are, then the chains from the unhealthy shame just break off, because you're at peace with yourself and you're at peace with others, and that's ultimately what we want, and that's ultimately what we want to experience. So the takeaway from today is I'm a human being, and I'm okay, and you are okay, and I'm okay, and I love you, and I thank you for watching. I'm very, very honored that you watch my videos, and look forward to hearing from you. As always, my email is desertrainbow66@gmail.com. You can find me on Facebook, Paul West. You feel free to friend me on Facebook. Say, hey, I saw you on a video. I'd like to dialogue with you. Send me a friend request, and I'll accept. And also I've started a blog, and so I'll throw some of the information that I'm doing on the videos into the blog, so the blog will kind of go along with the videos. So anyway, that's all. You guys have a great Sunday, and as always, we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.